Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, coming home from Costco, and was doing a little bit of digging around the other day, and I came across a story that honestly I had no idea about. Honestly, around the time of Wrestlemania 9, I was a young kid. I wasn't connected to the internet. I don't even think there was the internet around Wrestlemania 9. I honestly was just a kid who watched the show, and whatever happened is whatever happened. I made a video talking about the Ultimate Warrior making his return around WrestleMania 8, coming back to save Hulk Hogan from Papa Shango and Psycho Sid, and talked about the fact that as a kid, I didn't even realize the Ultimate Warrior was missing. WWF was a place that if you weren't there on the roster, they didn't talk about you, they didn't put you in the magazine, they didn't show old videos of you used to work here and stuff, and just Ultimate Warrior just faded away out of my mind. WrestleMania 9 is looked at as one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. As a kid, I thought it still has the appeal today. I still think it's one of the most coolest visuals that there is out there. To that point, WrestleMania, they didn't really have custom stages. Just the guys came out of the back, they walked down the aisle. WrestleMania, the ones where they used the carts to go from the back to the ring, I think that was WrestleMania 3. I think they also used them at WrestleMania 6, because that's where Heenan got turned on by Andre, and Andre ended up riding to the back by himself, if I remember right. But there were small little things, but like being in an outdoor stadium, for one, I didn't even know you could wrestle outside. I didn't know if it was a law or if it was a rule or something like that. But just being outside, for one, was crazy. And, you got the pillars and you got the appeal of everybody dressing up like it's the world's largest toga party. I didn't know that basically was just a courtyard, an outside venue that they just put together outside of the casino. That's one of the things that, even though it's not really there, when I go to Las Vegas to go to WrestleMania, I'm going to search out to see out. When the Legends of WrestleMania game came out, roughly 2009, 2010, that was the reason why I bought a PlayStation 3, because I wanted to play that game so bad. One of my favorite arenas to set matches on when I was wrestling there was WrestleMania 9. But when it comes down to like the action inside of the ring, your big matches, of course, is going to be Hulk Hogan coming back and the Ultimate Maniacs going up against the $1 Million team of Ted DiBiase and IRS. You've got Bret Hart against Yokozuna in the main event. One of the matches that stands out to me more than anything else, because it just didn't make any sense, was Bob Backlund against Razor Ramon. But I didn't know that the reason why WrestleMania 9 is so screwed up and none of the matches really make any sense is that the Ultimate Warrior was supposed to win the Royal Rumble in Sacramento, California, and go to WrestleMania 9 and main event the show against Bret the Hitman Hart. And we're not gonna, debate whether, Ultimate Warrior was gonna win the championship, or if Bret Hart was, gonna go over as a way to show how strong the new generation is, as like Ultimate Warrior was the legend of the past. He had won the championship in the main event of WrestleMania 6 against Hulk Hogan, and just a way to be there. I would have loved to fly on the wall to have Vince McMahon walk into that dressing room and tell Ultimate Warrior that he was putting over Bret Hart that night. I don't know how well that would have gone over. And in the Bret the Hitman Hart book, he doesn't really talk about this match that never happened. There's a lot of talk about the match at SummerSlam that was supposed to happen with Hulk Hogan that never happened, and Bret has a lot of bad feelings. If this match would have gone down and it would have been like a back and forth who's going to win, I think that Bret the Hitman Hart would have dumped a lot of dirt on the Ultimate Warrior as well. But this is the match that I think, I don't know if it could have saved it, but if you do, you know, the Ultimate Warrior going up against Bret the Hitman Hart, maybe you don't have to go to Hogan and basically throw a lot of money at him to come back to do that tag match, to come back at the end of the show to win the title from Yokozuna. Yokozuna was a guy that basically, when they were drawing up plans for the Royal Rumble, he wasn't even Japanese yet. He was just wrestling, dark matches as a Samoan guy. And who knows how that even would have got over. I think that if Yokozuna doesn't become Yokozuna, I think that he's just a guy that we see on some Wrestling Challenge, see on some Wrestling Superstars. Maybe he gets a pay-per-view match somewhere along the way, but no way he gets the push that Yokozuna got. So if you do that, I would bet you don't even call Hogan in order to come back. Who knows if Hogan wanted to come back because of the fact maybe his movie career wasn't going as well as he needed, and he thought maybe WWE would be a push that would gain him some of those fans that thought maybe his movie career wasn't there. So then when the next movie gets made and the next movie comes out, that there's some appeal that maybe we'll see it. I think there's a lot of that going on in WWE as of right now. I think that when The Rock made his return around WrestleMania 27, I think that really revived his career. He was making those kiddie movies at the time. He sort of got that WWE push behind him, shot him back into main action star. And you can debate whether if it's going well for The Rock in movies right now, but I think the movie business as a whole, since 2020, is kind of getting dominated. Movies come out, and there are movies that are huge successes that people just like, I have to go to the movies to see that movie. But I think that the way entertainment has like rolled out and come faster to on demand, to be in your house, whether if it's like on an Apple TV or using iTunes or whatever the hell else people use, I think that those are coming out faster, like sooner and sooner from their movie release date, and people are just waiting because they either are more comfortable at home or it costs less to just get the movie one time, pack the living room with as many people as you had. I think it's getting close to like $15 a ticket to go to the movies. And there's some movies that are worth it. And there's some movies that are like, I don't really know if this is going to be good, that you're just not going to take the guests on to see. So who would have known? Warrior versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9, if that would have saved the show. But I think your matchups where you're putting Razor Ramon against Bob Backlund, those matches probably just don't get there, because I bet that match just got thrown together because you're like, we've got an older star that's got an appeal to the older WWF crowd. We got Razor Ramon, who's a new superstar that we got to get him on the card to get him in the mix with things, that would just put them together. Less matches like that, more bigger matches with more known superstars, could have saved the whole damn thing.